In the last video, we looked at conducting background research without the use of generative AI. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use generative AI as a helpful tool within your research, okay? But the main idea that I want you to have as you watch this video is that AI can be a helpful tool to guide you in your research, but it doesn't do your research for you, okay? In the same way that if you got someone else to do your work and you just copy and pasted it, that is plagiarism. It's the same thing. If you just get ChatGPT to do your work for you, it's plagiarism, okay? If you copy and paste an answer of Google, it's plagiarism. AI is a tool. The internet is a tool, and we want you to use it, but we want you to use it ethically, okay? So, in the last video, we found this article looking at water within plants, and it's pretty complicated, right? We only looked at this first paragraph, and it was super dense with information, and it's super hard to understand. But this is probably from a really good source of information, okay? This is probably from a really good source of information. So, in that case, how could I use AI to help me? Well, something to keep in mind is AI is trained on a whole lot of different information, and not all of it is good, okay? Not all of it is good. So, how could we use good information with AI to improve our learning? Well, we could find some good information, right? So our .gov websites, .edu, .org, and when we find some information that seems to be pretty good, well, then we can use AI to help us understand what that text is really saying. So we can just copy and paste all of this information. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste all of this information, and I'm going to go to AI, and I'm going to ask it, can you help me understand the main ideas from this article? Okay. Please explain it as if I am and then insert your year level, right? So in this case, we'll just say year 8 science student. Okay. Now I click Shift Return just to go down a few lines, and then I'm going to paste in my information, and then I hit Return. Okay, so here's a simplified explanation of the main ideas. Right. So we've got water covers more than 70% of Earth's surface. Okay. And we often think about it as something that will never run out, but fresh water, the kind that plants and humans use, is actually limited in many places. Okay. There you go. So fresh water is very limited. Not super relevant to the question that we're trying to answer, but still, it's good to know. Okay, starting life. Here we go. So plants use water to start life. Okay, to germinate. That means to start growing. Fantastic. Okay. Feeding themselves. Water helps pull minerals from the soil into the plant. Fantastic. Okay. Keeping their shape. Water pressure inside cells helps plants stand upright. That's really interesting. I didn't learn that before because it was super hard to find that information. Now it's telling me this information. All right, and there's quite a bit more going on with this. But already, right, in just this part, it's really helping me find this information. So, taking some of these ideas, how could we then put it into our own words, right? We don't want to just copy and paste these answers. That's plagiarism, All right? That's plagiarism. We don't want to do that. Instead, what we want to do, what I always advise is that you read it several times, right? Read it over 5 times, okay? So let's think about this sentence, right? So I'm going to read it 5 times to myself, and then I'm going to change the screen, and I'm not going to look back at it, and I want to try and imagine that I'm explaining it to my younger sibling, okay, or my younger cousin, or like a year 3 student. Imagine you're trying to explain it to a year 3 student. What would you say to them? And whatever that is, that's what we typed in. That's what we type. Okay, so let's read it. Feeding themselves. Water helps pull minerals from the soil into the plant. Okay, and this is to help them feed themselves. Okay, so I'm just going to read that over a few more times. Feeding themselves. Water helps pull minerals from the soil into the plant. Okay, feeding themselves. Water helps pull minerals from the soil into the plant. Okay, so imagining now, I'm not looking back at it. I'm trying to explain it to my younger sibling. So water helps move the minerals, which is the food. I'll say that, which is the food from the ground into the plant. Okay, fantastic. All right. Now, is that word for word the exact same? No. Is it the same idea? Yes. But it's in my own words. Okay, and I can do the same thing for some of these other ideas. Okay, keeping their shape. Water pressure inside cells helps plants stand upright. Okay, so water pressure, that's kind of like, when I think of that, I'm thinking like a water balloon, right? And how when you fill it up with water, it kind of keeps its shape a little bit. Like, it's still squishy, but it kind of fills out. So water inside the plant helps the plant keep its shape. Okay. Okay. And then one more that I want to use. Let's see, breathing. Plants lose water through tiny holes in their leaves when they take in carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Okay, so again, so they lose water during this process of photosynthesis. Okay, so plants lose water during photosynthesis. Okay, cool. All right, which is kind of what we found before. Now, what would I put for my source? Well, it's the same as before, all right? I'm using this source of information, the National Library of Medicine, right? So the National Library of Medicine. Whoops. And then I copy the link, highlight the text, right click, insert link, paste the link, click OK. Okay, very good. But I want to note down ChatGPT was used to help me understand the main points from the article. Okay. So, again, we're not plagiarizing. We're being honest about the sources of information and what tools we've used to actually help understand that information. It's completely fine to do that. Now, what that means is that at the end of your assessment, right, so when you get up to step 13 and looking at the use of AI and for your submission, well, you're not going to sign this first part because you have used AI. All right. So if you have used AI, then you're not going to sign this first part. That would be lying. That would be plagiarism. That would result in you getting 0. Okay. Instead, if you have used generative AI in some way, then we're going to fill out this next part. Okay. So I insert your name. So my name is Mr. Yan. Acknowledge the use of okay, I used ChatGPT, all right, and I think if you actually log in, you can share the exact conversation that you've had, which would be really helpful, okay, with ChatGPT. But okay, for now, I'm just going to say, I, Mr. Yan, acknowledge the use of ChatGPT. Now what did I use it for? I used it to simplify the information found from the National Institute of Medicine. Right, so the Library, not Institute, National Library of Medicine. And then the name of this article is Focus on Water. Okay, so to simplify the information found from the National Library of Medicine, from the article Focus on Water. So, okay, the prompts used. Okay, well, I'm going to go back to my AI, go up to the front, and then I'm just going to copy and paste the prompt I gave. Oops. So I'm going to copy and paste it. You can just do Shift, Option, Command, V, and then it will... Oh, no, it's not going to keep that. Let's try it again. There we go. Can you help me understand the main ideas from this article? Please explain it as if I'm a Year 8 science student. Yep. And then I'm just going to make a little note. I copy and pasted the full article below. Cool. All right. And then the output from these prompts was used to, okay, so the output from the prompts, how did I use this output? It was used to write down the main ideas from the article in my background research. Okay, now every time that you used AI, you would need to do this in some way, right? So considering this is a list, you would click return and then talk about the next article that you've used, okay, or the next time that you used it. Okay, and the same thing for these other parts. Okay, so you can just hit return and then give your response to this declaration. Okay.